Mm, sure everything is working. Looks like it. Okay. Go ahead and hit record. And welcome back, everybody, to the third Generation Wrestling Podcast, 3GW, here in the building, talking Survivor Series 2023. Ooh-wee. A lot to talk about here. But thankfully, we got some addition, some additional knowledge to help us out with this one, because Lord have mercy. Whew, I am the real Big E. He is Rob the Ambassador, who was live there at the event this evening. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. Finally completed my big four. Okay, been to a couple of WrestleManias, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. Finally made it to Survivor Series. So, and man, it was quite a night, as you just spoke about. It was really quite a night.
It was so much so that the the good brother, the inside man, had to come out of the woodwork and like, oh no, I got to talk about this. But we always glad to have him. Always, always a pleasure, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Just left work. I was able to watch pretty much the entire show. So we'll get into it.
We get in, yeah. Let's go in against type how we normally do things, but uh, okay. Let's rewind just a little bit, and we'll get into it. Rob and I went to Monday Night Raw 2014 March. Or I want to say it was the Raw before WrestleMania 30. His birthday, as a matter of fact, March 3rd, 2014. In Chicago. It was right after CM Punk had left at the Rumble, and there was obviously a lot of Punk chants and everything else in the same building, Allstate Arena. And Raw started out with CM Punk's music playing, and they trolled us all because Paul Heyman, who came out and cut a promo, trolled everybody in the building, and we were just like, "Wow, okay." So let's fast forward to what was it, 2019, 2020? CM Punk, no, must have been 2021. CM Punk goes to AEW, trashes or pretty much ignores the 7 years he spent in WWE and says he's looking forward to working with all young talent, this and that and the third, and fast forward a year later, he's not fired but suspended. Fast forward 7 months after that, he's back in the AEW, and oh look, he gets into another fight. This time they fire. Shortly after that, they announced Survivor Series in Chicago. So everybody gets to talking. Oh, CM Punk gonna show up in Chicago. All these reports. It's like every day. Inside Man could is a testament to this. You probably seeing it every day on your feeds. Punk's coming. He's not coming. Oh, they haven't been in talks. They've been in talks. CM Punk reached out to WWE. He didn't reach out to WWE. There's no way. They don't need him. Dave Meltzer. They don't need him. They got enough talent. NXT. Blah 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 blah. Okay, whatever. This past Monday night on Raw, who's the fifth man in the War Games match? CM Punk rumors start coming back up again. Here we go. But then they say no, Randy Orton. And it really was Randy Orton. We're gonna get into that in a minute. The match was over. I was cool. I thought the show was a overall success. I'm ready to put my kids to bed, and and I hear a guitar riff, and I'm thinking, there's no way. Nope. And then I start seeing the screens light up, and my phone just fell out of my hand. I just was stuck for like 10 minutes. And he walked out. They didn't do anything. He didn't get physical at all. He just kind of did like Ronda Rousey debut years ago. I still feel the same way I felt last time we discussed CM Punk. I don't think WWE needs him. I think he is a problem child. Um, Based off what Triple H said, he pretty much said what Rob has said over the years. Anytime you bring up Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, you talk about real like lawsuits, things of that nature. You think these people will never ever come back, and they do. Warrior, to name another person, and Triple H pretty much said in the presser that if the fans want it, it's best for business, it's going to push us, then that's what we're going to do. And he said it happened quick, so quick that they were able to keep it quiet. So, regardless of how people feel, the business, like Cody said even about it, the business of what comes first. So, and it is, because that's what gets everybody paid. Personally, I could take him or leave him. I could more so leave him at this point, because it just seems like no matter where you go, trouble follows you. And the field of work I'm going into, that's also kind of the way I'm leaning that way. Like, if trouble follows you everywhere you go, you are the problem. So I hope this is the last thing I'll leave y'all with. I hope and pray that this goes well and they make money, and this return is successful and nothing bad happens. I will say that. But I really could have gone without it. So, Rob, I know. Well, I'll let you tell it. Go ahead.
Well, we always say we keep it real on this podcast, so I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I left immediately after the end of the men's War Games match. I had heard the CM Punk chants all night. I didn't believe he was going to show. I was trying to beat traffic. I left. As I'm walking to my car, I had a hard time finding my car because I'm terrible with directions. So by the time I get to my car, people are filing out, and you can just kind of hear the chatter about it. So I asked some guy, and I said, "Did Punk come out?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he was pretty excited about it. But I did not see it. And you know what? And I don't mean to sound like a hater. I don't really feel bad about missing it. I was listening to those CM Punk chants all night long. They were getting on my nerves. And I have said it many times on this podcast, I am just over CM Punk. I'm not going to say I don't like him. What I am going to say is that I've just kind of grown sour on him. You've already spoke about his history, how he left WWE. When he left WWE the first time, I was one of the few people saying, I don't know if I believe everything he's saying is WWE's fault. I think some of it sounds like sour grapes. Some of it sounds like just nature of the business stuff. So he leaves, but WWE hired him back as a panelist on one of their talk shows, right? He didn't come back to the ring, but they actually hired him back. Okay, so then he leaves again, goes to AEW, talks about how he wants to work with all that great new talent. I don't want to repeat what you said, but then turns around, bashes it. All of us excited. He's back in wrestling. We see how that went. So now he's back in WWE, and we're supposed to believe that he's changed, that he's a different guy. I mean, Triple H, I don't know if it's all just press speak about it all coming together quickly, because we actually have been hearing rumblings for a while now. While I get that from a financial standpoint and from an interest standpoint, it is big news. It will bring eyes to the product. Will it turn out okay? I have my doubts. Not only because I just don't think CM Punk is a very good guy. I also just don't think he's looked very good in the ring in the past couple of years. He's in his 40s now.
I think Blake is going to get that.
But look, he's here now. He's in WWE. There are some intriguing matchups, some intriguing storylines they could do. I don't know whether he's going to be heel or face. So from that standpoint, it's interesting, and I will watch, but I I don't have a good feeling about it, and I don't think it will end well because I think Punk is who he is.
I think so I thought the show was over. I was gonna go back to doing what I was supposed to be doing for the previous 3. But, I was gonna go back to working. Then I hear the guitar riff. I'm like, what is that? And I see the crowd going bananas. I'm like, what? What? It still doesn't register to me because I'm like, I dismiss Punk coming back. I don't know if I've said on the show. I think Punk's an asshole. I mean, Punk had his day in the sun. For lack of a better term, I think Punk's an asshole. I think he's one of them kind of people who blames everybody but himself. That's just the way he comes off to me. I don't know Phil Brooks personally, but that's the way he comes off to me. I think the whole AEW thing was mostly, I don't know, but he doesn't strike me as a likable person. So when I seen it, I was legitimately shocked. That's one of the few times I can say in pro wrestling I was legitimately floored by this because I did not see this happening. I thought maybe if he was going to come back, it would have been at the Rumble, but I did not think this early at Survivor Series. I didn't. So I can say this. I think the moment is exciting to see that happen. We haven't seen Punk in WWE in 9 years? 10?
They'd be 10 in a month.
10 years. Call it 10 years. We ain't seen Punk in WWE in 10 years. That is big. It is a big moment. For me, even more so than the AEW thing, because people knew that was happening when he went to AEW. People saw that. His in-ring stuff. So I think the problem with that is Punk is in his around 44-ish, 43-ish, something like that.
Same age as Cena's 45, so Punk got to be at least 44.
Okay. AJ Styles is 46. I believe he's 46. Being 46 and wrestling on a regular basis for all these years is different than being 46 and you haven't wrestled in when that would have been 8.5 years or whatever it was. You had a long layoff. It's not going to be the same. And boy, did it show in AEW with him.
45.
I don't. What's that?
He's 45.
45. Okay.
So
45, bro. I don't. And you can't do. I don't know if you can do that with such a long layoff. That's why he keeps getting injured. You took too much time off of wrestling to come back. You're a fucking grandpa now, and you want to wrestle. You're going to get injured. It's not going to be the same. AJ can wrestle smooth as silk. He's in his mid-40s because he has been doing. What's that?
Randy
Orton,
48 and gets it done.
Hell, Randy Orton's at 42, 43. He has been wrestling all these years. There's a difference. So I don't see that get better for Punk at that age. I will say this. Do I think it's going to end well? Not exactly. But I will say this. I believe the WWE system, and I'm saying this because Cody Rhodes said it, is more structured than what AEW was. AEW seemed like a damn free-for-all. They're over there drinking blood and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. I think WWE is more structured. Okay, we need you here. We need you there. If you want to complain, you talk to. It seems more structured to me than what AEW was. And maybe that's what CM Punk needs is not just be out there flying off the handle doing your own thing. Maybe, and I could be just dead wrong. It's going to be a catastrophe, but we'll see. Exciting moment overall. I don't know how it's going to turn out long term.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But
quickly, does anybody feel any kind of way that we had the return of Randy Orton and R-Truth, but all anybody will talk about is the return of CM Punk?
That is the one thing I would ding WWE on. Okay. You had an 18-month layoff of Randy Orton and you brought him back. He came back, huge pop. You were there. I know you heard that pop. And the dude is jacked. I mean, I ain't seen him look this good in years. And you, Rob, have said, because you used to work security at an arena, that Randy Orton is probably the biggest wrestler you've seen.
Man.
And tonight, it just showed he was the tallest person in the ring and definitely the most jacked. So you put the two together. I mean, I could see why you have to go back and watch real quick. If you go back and watch Evolution with Randy, Batista, Triple H, and Ric Flair, they never let Randy stand too close to Batista. He's actually taller than Batista. So, but they slipped up one night. I think it was they did a backstage promo and they were facing off, and you can see there's a difference. Randy's taller, and it's like okay. But point is, yes, they kind of buried the lead, so to speak, as they would say in Hollywood. You buried the lead. The lead was Randy Orton, and for him to come back, I can't imagine he's not frustrated because it's like I was the draw tonight, and y'all buried me essentially because now nobody's even talking about me. So yeah,
I text you that. I'm like, I feel bad for Randy.
Yeah.
Randy was the story in the main event.
Yes.
It wasn't Jey Uso.
They built the whole show around. Randy ain't here. Randy ain't here yet. We ain't seen Randy.
Yeah. Yeah. And everyone knew what was going to happen with that.
Yeah, But
Randy was the story in the main event. And unfortunately, now that's by the wayside because Punk is back. And Randy was huge.
Huge. Holy shit.
Randy was a monster. But I'm happy Randy Orton's back. I will say
that. Yeah, me too.
All right. Let's talk some of these matches and get up out of there because it's late. The women's kicked off the show. Survivor Series from Chicago, obviously. Women's War Games match kicks it off. Damage Control, Asuka, which I don't really like Asuka being Damage Control, but another topic for another day. Asuka, Io Sky, Bayley, what's the girl's name?
Kairi Sane
versus Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair. Honestly, I don't know if this. It's really hard to match up to the two NXT Women's War Games matches, the one we saw and the one after that. I thought those were top tier, balls to the wall action women's War Games matches. This one is close. It's better than the one last year. I'll say that much for sure. Definitely better than the one last year. Total story. I appreciate. Look here. I'm gonna keep my comments short. The thing that stood out to me, Io Sky having the trust to put a trash can over her entire head, can't see where she's going, and jumping off the top of the cage. Like I got nothing. It's fucking insane. Charlotte Flair doing the moonsault off top of the cage and actually hitting it on people. Finally, awesome. Shotzi stood out in the match. I'm so glad for her being a standout in the War Games match. She took some nasty bumps and she took the miss to her face. We got the moment everybody was waiting on. Becky and Charlotte hugging it out finally. The moment. And I think the right team won. I don't know if Bayley taking the pin was the right. I don't know, but I think the right team did win. I mean, Damage Control. I'm still not a fan. Yeah, you added Asuka, you added Kairi Sane. I still don't like it. I don't know. It just feels forced. Maybe that's the problem. But if we're talking about the match itself, I thought it was highest of high, pay-per-view worthy. Still not quite superb, but still very, very entertaining. I had a good time with it. I always look forward to what Kairi Sane is going to do. I mean, not Kairi Sane, Io Sky is going to do. So, yes. Rob, what do you think?
We've all been to matches in person, and I love going to a live event. But I do think watching a match on TV is better. It's up close. You're getting to see all of the spots because the camera knows where to be at the right time. Watching this match in person, though, I really enjoyed it, and for me, it just snuck into superb. It started off hot. The crowd was really into it, and I think each of the ladies had their moments. As far as Bayley eating the pin, I think they're trying to move Bayley away from damage control. They might even be trying to turn her into a face or something. So I think eating the pin is just part of that story. But I thought the match itself, for me, just got into superb. Still not as good as the previous matches you had talked about. Those are on another level. But I thought this one was still up there with those, just not quite there.
Okay.
Man, I'm sorry. I thought this match was spectacular. I loved it. I'm going high superb. I can't go instant classic because the very first one we saw, the NXT War, that was.
We were there. I watched that match earlier today. It still holds up, man.
That match holds up. So I enjoyed this match. I liked all the work. I mean, I like Kairi Sane's new character, how she is showing little to no emotion. I've been an EO fan for a long time, and I'm happy to see her getting over on the main roster. I'm happy to see her flourish. I'm happy that she's getting the cheers. She's getting her flowers. I'm really happy about that. I actually thought that Bayley was MVP for me. Bayley was doing some work, and she took some punishment in this match. Becky did too. But Bayley was really, and I like Bayley, but I never go to her as that was Book's girl. Book like that. But tonight, I really think Bayley really was the MVP. I think she held it down. I think she took the most punishment. I think she told the story with everything she was doing. She took all the hard bumps, all the spears. Bayley got it in. Only person who got their ass whooped more was Shotzi. But I really like what Bayley did. I'm giving this high superb. Really enjoyed it. This might have been my favorite match of the night, to be honest with you.
All right.
This was my favorite match of the night as well.
Okay.
Not mad at all. After that, there was Gunther. I almost called him Walter. Gunther and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. I gotta say, if there was ever a time, I really, 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 really wish Book could be on the show. It was right now.
This would be Book's time to shine.
Oh, he wouldn't. Oh my God, he'd be talking us to death.
Oh, never hear the end of it. You'll never hear the end of
it. And listening to Triple H on the press conference, God, I hate to say these words. But he was right. If The Miz needs to be comedic, he can be comedic. If he needs to be serious, he can be serious. And something he showed me this year, maybe I just finally opened my eyes to it, but he showed me this year that he could work. When The Miz faced LA Knight earlier this year, I think it was Money. No, it wasn't Money in the Bank. What was it?
No.
It was the one after Money in the Bank.
One of
yeah. I could tell watching the match that Miz was calling the match. And Miz was doing a lot of counters. Miz was the pro. And I was like, okay, I gotta kind of give him his flowers too. Like, dude, regardless of all the BS storylines they give him, he knows what he's doing in there. So kudos to him. The match itself, man, I do chance and no chance would steal the show. And when I say steal the show, I mean you didn't expect the match to be as good as it was, but it was. I don't think it quite made it to show stealer, but I think it opened people's eyes for sure. Maybe some people that haven't seen The Miz work at a real work rate. That near fall, woo, that was close. he hit them 2 low blows and the skull crush finale. I was like, oh shit. But not to be. And I do. Some people may not like this, but I like the realism. Like, these submissions are supposed to tap you out. They're supposed to hurt. So the fact that he did the Boston Crab first, and he wasn't tapping out, but then he moved up, and then he put that knee on his back, And then he tapped out. I was like, oh, that's real. I can believe that. I can buy that. You know, in MMA, and Blake, you can attest to this. You don't tap out because you're a chump. Oh, Rob too. You don't tap out because you're a chump. You're a sucker. You tapping out because you don't want to be hurt long term. Like, this is a business decision I'm making right now. I
Right.
need to tap out because I'm gonna be really hurt for a long time. So yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this match. Crowd participation was all night, really. I again, pay-per-view worthy to me. I thought this fit the billing, and I really, really loved the video package. The fact that they touched on how the Miz did at one point increase the relativity of the Intercontinental Championship. So kudos WWE. Kudos to these two gentlemen in the match. Pay-per-view worthy. Blake.
I went low pay-per-view worthy. I haven't seen the Miz really work in a long time. He's been, and I'm not blaming. He's been stuck with so much crap. The zombies,
Ugh.
yeah. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been given a lot of trash, and he
The
has
Bad
done
Bunny shit. Doing him and John Morrison came up dressed as bunny.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been given a lot of crap, and he's dealt with it, and he's took it. So, I mean, heck, it was last year or 2 years, year and a half ago, we were like, look, this guy's a joke now. He's not credible enough. But things have turned around. He put on Miz worked. That was a very near fall. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, that was close.
yeah, that was close. It was good. So low pay per view worthy for me. It was a good match.
Yeah, I'll agree with you both. I'll go pay-per-view worthy. And you both have already said it. I have crushed the Miz on this podcast
You
for
have.
being a joke and ruining his legacy, being a laughing stock. But what they've done with this match, and hopefully they continue that, is they've reminded us that the Miz can work, that he can be more than just the butt of every joke. He can be still, as he likes to call himself, an A-lister. So I think he put himself back in that conversation. I don't know if he's going to go full face now or if it was just for this feud with Gunther. I almost called him Walter. But I enjoyed this match. I'll tell you what, I never in my mind thought The Miz had a chance to win this. But that audience in Chicago, they fell hook, line, and sinker for that skull-crushing finale. They thought Miz had it. But that's what good work in a good match does. So from that standpoint, like I said, I give it pay-per-view worthy.
Cool. Right on. Keep things moving. We had Santos Escobar taking on Dragon Lee. What was supposed to be Carlito, but Carlito got hurt on SmackDown, so it's Dragon Lee. I did not like that when they called up Santos that he was babyface, and then they did the LWO thing and with Ray. As soon as they put him with Ray, I was counting down. I'm like, all right, how long before he turns on this man? Because there's just no way. And then with the whole United States Championship thing happening, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna come. So, and we talked about it, Crown Jewel, setting the brass knuckles on the fucking apron. Come on, man. He fits better as a heel. This was what he's supposed to be, and you're in Chicago. There's no better way, when I say this, to be christened as a heel than a Chicago crowd saying "F you, whoever you are." And they made it very clear, "F you, Santos." Because he did everything. He did dirty trick in the book. If you're a lucha libre, you tug at that mask.
Yep.
He sure did. But I like that he still got clean victory because it built him up. No interference. He hit that destroyer, and then he came back with the follow up and got the win. That's good. Building him strong. Obviously, we're probably going to see him and Ray down the line, either at Rumble or Mania. But I gave this I'm gonna go high TV. Not that this was bad, but I just didn't think if we're putting it up against the rest of the card, TV. So, Rob, well, being there live, how was the temperature in the room?
Man, I'll tell you what, Santos, the crowd was hating. They were hating on Santos. There was a part in the match where he tried to pull off Dragon Lee's match or mask. And, you know, that is a huge sign of disrespect. Yeah, you don't do that. And the crowd was booing him out of the building. So I like what they're doing with Santos. I like Dragon Lee, and I thought I think these two are capable of a better match. But I don't think they were really trying to so much give us. I don't want to say they weren't trying to give us a great match. That would be wrong. But I think they were just more interested in developing Santos as this terrible heel character, and I thought they did that effectively. The match itself, I just thought was average. So I'll go high TV quality.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. TV.
Yeah, I feel like these two are capable of better, though.
I agree with you guys. High TV quality, only for the simple fact this could have been on SmackDown, and it would have been fine. It would have been more than fine. Now, let me say this: I like Santos Escobar. I've talked about this when he was a cruiserweight champion in NXT. He really did. You know, that man was born out of his mother's womb to be a heel. So when heel. As an LWO, he's smiling and hugging Ray. I'm with you. I'm looking at the clock. Okay.
Yeah. How long is it going to take?
But this man's going to turn. But here, this is going to be good because here we know what kind of heel Santos can be. If you only watch the main pocket, you didn't watch NXT, you're going to be in for a treat because he can be as vile as it gets. I like Santos. I have high hopes for him. But the match still was high TV quality. Could have watched this on SmackDown. They could have put something else in the spot.
Yeah. Zoe Stark taking on Rhea Ripley. Zoe Stark taking on Rhea Ripley. All right, now going in, obviously, I didn't have no high hopes for this. Nobody on God's green earth thought Zoe Stark was going to dethrone
nobody.
Except, you know, I know Booker T had to stay it on the kickoff, whatever, but that's just, you know, it is what it is. But nobody really thought that she was going to lose.
Not for a second.
No. Zoe showed that she could hang. Okay. I didn't actually see anything that made me go ooh or ah or anything like that. Not 1 second did I believe that she was gonna win or that Rhea was in any real trouble. You know, look, when the Riptide comes out and she puts you through that mat the way she did Zoe tonight, it's like lights out, game over. I'm sorry. There's just no chance. Rhea is, as Triple H said at the presser. Rob, I'm sorry. Charlotte.
Whoa.
Rhea,
Rob, you're not going to take this, are you?
Rhea, come on now.
Well, I'm sorry. Look, I'm going to say the words that you said. Name something right now that she can't do.
Oof.
Well,
right now.
You're right. She can do everything. I just don't think she can do everything. She
don't have the title range.
Right.
At the title range, she don't have 12 years. But as of right now, we're talking star power and a star that can wrestle, has the personality and the presence and can work the mic. She doesn't have to say a word now. It's to that point, just her being there.
And I don't know if you could tell on TV, the crowd was behind Rhea. They were rooting for her.
Yeah.
They love Rhea.
Yeah.
So I can't argue anything you said. I'm not arguing against it.
Match wise, yeah, I gotta go TV again just because I just didn't believe Zoe was ever gonna win, and I didn't think she really. I just can't believe there was no belief in that she had a chance. So for that, it gets TV, unfortunately, for Rhea from me. But you being there, I'm sorry. Blake, go ahead.
Zoe, here, I don't want to be mean, but Zoe Stark shouldn't have been in this spot. It seemed, and Rob, you can correct me, but it seemed like she got little to no reaction. No one believed in Zoe Stark. I don't have a problem with her. But she, now this is Jesus. I don't even want to say this. God have mercy.
He built like a man.
But this, not yeah. But I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to hear none of y'all mouth, and I mean this. This should have been Rhea versus Nia Jax tonight, because I'm looking at the size of things. That would have been a more intriguing match. Okay, I'm not giving Nia Jax any credit. I'm not giving her nada, no credit.
Look at Big D.
My word.
But okay, but look, listen. Would you rather see Nia and Rhea or Nia and Zoe?
Oh, Nia, for sure. I mean, she's leaner now. She's more of a threat. The way they booked her. I mean, and people know who she is.
Yes, and she's more of a threat. I don't understand this booking with Zoe. I mean, the match was good enough. Okay, we'll go. Rhea looked absolutely tonight. I'm gonna get that out the way. Can
we just for a minute
stay on task?
No. Can we the chaps?
Ugh. Yeah, she's and you're right.
That thing was poking out them chaps. That's all I'm gonna say. Lord have mercy.
She is at this point. She is such a star. You're right. She doesn't even have to come out and say anything. She does like that look towards the crowd and does it, and the people are going nuts. Crowd is going nuts. We're at home watching her going nuts. She is an absolute star. She is a catch. Rhea is man, I enjoy watching her every week. And you hear criticism how everyone's like the Judgment Day is in the main event every week. So what? Rhea Ripley's at ringside every week. Shut up and like it. That's my stance. As far as this match, high TV quality, this should have been that. I mean, you guys probably surprised. This should have been her versus Nia. Zoe didn't really deserve to be in this spot. The match is good enough. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I like Zoe Stark, but no way did I think she deserved this spot. I agree with you, Inside Man. I would have been much more interested in seeing Nia take on Rhea, but I think they're saving that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for Mania or Elimination Chamber.
The size threat, like she's significant. Even though Nia lost weight, she's still significantly bigger than Rhea. So it's a challenge.
Yeah, what I thought they might do is just give Zoe a little more offense, at least make her look strong in the loss. None of us believed she was going to win, but at least make her look decent losing. But they didn't even do that. Rhea just dominated her. It didn't help Zoe in any way. And like I said, when she came out, it was crickets. Nobody cared. But when Rhea came out, huge pop, and she's the villain. Yeah, so but yeah, TV quality for the match. I was not even invested in this match from the beginning, and the match itself didn't change my opinion of that.
Yeah, you're speaking from being there. You just joining in. Like Rob was there, so if he says there was crickets, there was.
She wasn't getting no high fives walking by. She wasn't getting nothing. I felt bad.
Well, she's technically a heel too, so it was a heel versus heel. But
yeah, I guess that's true.
But but like you said though, people have always liked Rhea, and they're just glad that she's getting the spotlight, and it's not dimming whatsoever. Like people may be tired of Roman, ain't nobody tired of Rhea. Like Rhea can have that belt as long as she wants to have
Keep it. Keep it. It's yours. Keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Nia, who is a real threat to her run? There's not really much on the Raw roster.
No, I would say Raquel, but she's not seasoned.
Let me say this. Raquel sucks. Raquel is not that good. I'm sorry. Come on, man. Raquel is just tall. That is it. Raquel can't tell a story. Raquel's wrestling is C minus D plus. Raquel's not that good, man. She's not. She is not that good to me. I think she is so overrated.
Yeah.
And she's not getting any reaction either. She comes out when she's still doing the turn around, let me show you my back. No one cares. No one cares.
You're right.
Well, look, waiting in the wings sometime down the road, Jade Cargill.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. They did. Somebody did ask Triple H about Jade because I was wondering too. I'm like, she was on TV, then she disappeared. And Triple H, kudos to Triple H. He was very honest in this presser, by the way. He said, she's just in the most polite way he could say it. She's just not quite there yet in ring.
He's right.
He meant in ring.
And he's right. He's right.
You could tell he meant in ring. She's just not quite there yet. And you know what he said? To no fault of her own, meaning AEW did not do a good job of developing her. She's not quite there yet. He said, but when she's ready, y'all better be ready. Because he said the last thing I'm going to do is put her out there if she's not ready. He made it very clear that that's his passion project. Jade is his. Like he made it very clear.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But let's say this. I like when he does these pressers, I like Triple H pressers because it seems that he's as honest as he can be.
As he can be. Yeah, right.
Can be. And I think I've seen Jade wrestle in AEW. Her in-ring work was not that good. She is a presence. She is she's muscular. She's big. A lot of guys are attracted to her. You look at her, she looks like she can be a star. Yes, she has that, but as far as her in-ring, no. So
limited.
In my opinion,
was the word he used. I was looking for it. Yeah.
What's that now?
He said limited. I was trying to find the word he used.
Oh.
He said she's limited. And he didn't want to debut her as limited. He wanted to make sure that she was ready to go.
And he's right. He's 100% right about that.
And he said to no fault of her, like he made sure to, put it as best he could, but telling the truth.
Yeah. Yes.
So good on him. Get to the main event here. We got the men's War Games match, Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough, Dirty Dom, and of course, Drew McIntyre, who's not in Judgment Day, but just kind of helping them out. A liaison, if you will. Versus Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Seth freaking Rollins, the world heavyweight champion, and a Viper, Randy Orton. I gotta say, there's a trend with these matches, man. The women seem to be doing better. I don't know if it's because they're going first and they've done the match already. So it's hard to follow up. I don't know if it's that or if by the time we get to the main event, these guys aren't willing to do as much. I don't know. I felt like the men's War Games match last year was dope with the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens. Yeah. I thought they took a lot of risk in that. Yeah. This one seemed to play just a tad bit more safe. I thought they would have done more honestly, with you having JD McDonough in there, they did do a spot with him. You know, it was cool, but I just thought they would do more. There was not nearly as many weapons in this match. Not even close. They brought some chairs and things like that, but you know, it just didn't hit as far as the weapons. And I know they're steering away from blood and everything, but I mean, like, it's war games. Like, if you go back and watch the WCW war games, dudes walked out of there bloody and beaten. This was more of a storyline type of match, building up to the big return of Randy Orton, like we said. They've been working toward it all night. I did like let me give kudos to Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. The stare down at the entrance and I don't know if you could tell, Rob, but Damian stopped Drew McIntyre from coming out.
Yeah.
Initially, and that's when he went in the match
because of the way they set up the arena. I could actually see that from my seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was good storytelling. I'll give the match this. Great storytelling. If you know, they give us something to think about and questions for Raw tomorrow. And then I thought it was very interesting that Rhea came out with the briefcase because they had just put Seth Rollins to the table. Rhea comes out with the briefcase. I'm thinking, oh shit! Because keep in mind, I'm not thinking about CM Punk. Nope.
Right.
Nobody is. Realistically, nobody is.
Nobody.
So I'm thinking, oh shit. Because I had thought about it, and I wish I would have texted. I said, this would be a good time to do a cash in a War Games match. Never been done before, number one. And if you can incapacitate Seth Rollins, why not? Here she comes. It was a little rushed, I guess, because it was right after the countdown for the fifth person. Randy didn't come out. Rhea did. As soon as she gets the ref, the music hits, Randy comes out. But damn it, I did not care because that man came out and he was jacked.
Huge.
I haven't seen him in that good a shape in years. I mean, his traps was up to his neck, abs popping, his back popping. Just dude was freaked up, man. Yeah, just huge. I'm not mad that because I know we all know dude has legitimate back issues. Unlike the Seth thing probably is real too, but Randy actually had the surgeries. So not mad. He still did his stuff. He did the power slams. He did the RKOs. He did everything. He just didn't get hit with any weapons or anything like that. But he had the big spot with JD McDonough catching him with the RKO and everything. Loved it. Randy.
He had that moment with Jay that I thought was good.
Yeah, because he went up to him and he did the whole. I ain't forgot about you. Randy has always been very good with his storytelling in the ring.
Yes.
And going up to people and staring them down and creeping them out. Like, he's always been great at that. So I really did appreciate that. Man. So it's hard for me to really bash the match. Here's what I will say. I'll give this a low pay-per-view worthy because it had star power. It had the storytelling. It did not have the wrestling quality as the first War Games match. First War Games match, I'll give a high pay-per-view worthy. This one I'll give a low. Just because the action wasn't there, the violence wasn't there, but the storytelling was. Randy looked amazing. Trying to think. I mean, Damian Priest stood out. Finn Balor stood out, but at the end of the day, I was really just looking forward to seeing Randy. Let's just be honest. I was just waiting on Randy to come out. And, man, no complaints, but still low pay-per-view worthy for me. Rob, you be in there. Tell us about that pop Randy got.
Well, first of all, the match. I feel like the match was really designed around Randy, even though they tried to swerve us and make us think Randy was going to be there. We all knew he was. and we all knew that he was going to come out last. So when he did, I mean, man, just insane pop. Even though everybody knew he was going to be there, just to see him come out, hitting those RKOs, doing all the spots we just talked about, the face to face with Jay, the spot with JD McDonough from the top of the cage. Crowd was just loving every bit of it. So, like you, I'm going to go pay-per-view worthy because I thought the match was just more about showcasing Randy than it was about, getting a bunch of big spots in there. It was more about him.
Mhm.
So yeah, pay-per-view worthy. And as a quick aside, I just want to say something. This is my first Survivor Series. The only thing that I wish I could have seen is a traditional Survivor Series match. They've really gotten away from that. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view still has a Money in the Bank match. Hell in the Cell pay-per-view has a Hell in the Cell match, so on and so
Well, they
forth.
don't do Hell in a
Elimination
Cell
Chamber.
pay-per-views no more. But yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Well, yeah. I
I
mean,
get what you're saying.
I think War Games could be its own pay-per-view. I really would like at least to see one traditional Survivor Series match at a Survivor Series. But look, I'm old school, so a lot of people probably don't care about that. But that's just me being the old guy on this podcast, wishing for those old days.
But didn't the original Survivor Series, the traditional matches, had a prize for the winning team? Or the sole survivor got a title match?
I don't remember.
They might have done that later. It was always just 5-on-5 elimination. I don't believe there was any stakes involved. Just
I thought the sole survivor got a title match, but okay.
Not back in the. I think it was just the traditional 5-on-5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mind them. Especially when they would ever do Raw versus SmackDown, made sense. My favorite one was that in recent history anyway, was one when Sting debuted and then Dolph Ziggler won the match with the Authority had to go away. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, because the War Games match was 5 guys on 5 guys. You just could have done a similar thing without the cages and the extra ring.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, the that men's War Games match didn't need the cage. It just be
really right.
It really didn't need it.
You're right.
Didn't do anything with it, really. To be honest, but overall, I still think it was a great show. I guess we'll see what happens with CM Punk. The biggest thing I don't like is that it took away from. To me, I just feel like it took from the whole show because it's a double-edged sword. If no matter what he's talked about, right? So it's whether it's positive or negative, he's talked about. So no matter what, you're gonna get the publicity. But the problem is it takes away from everybody else's hard work. And a lot of people worked very hard on this show tonight. So I'm glad that kudos to WWE recognizing that with the press conference, they put Triple H on first. He normally goes on last. They put him on first. Let's get all this CM Punk talk out the way. Right. They let him elaborate. Those weren't the only questions he got, but obviously the first 3 were CM Punk related. And then he got a question about Jade. He got a question about
Jon Moxley. He got a question.
Yeah, he got a question about him. He got a question about something else. Japanese women's wrestling. He got a question about that. But yeah, kudos to them. But I guess we'll see. We don't even know if he's gonna be on Raw or SmackDown. We don't know nothing. We don't know a thing. I still can't believe we're even talking about the man again. But it is what it is. Let us know in the comments down below what you all think. What do you think of Survivor Series? What do you think of CM Punk being back in WWE 10 years later? And of all people, at the peak of CM Punk's problems, he was feuding with Triple H, the man that hired him back. I mean, if you go back and watch the promo that was CM Punk sitting in the chair and Triple H standing over him.
Yeah.
it still holds up to this day. It's as if he wrote it today, 10 years later.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just amazing to me that he's the one. Triple H and Nick Khan. Triple H said it. Yeah, it was me and Nick Khan. We hired him back. Okay. Had nothing to do with TKO. It was all WWE. All right. Fine. We'll see. Again, I hope it works out. I hope nothing bad happens. But it's just like when you've been in so many bad relationships, you're jaded. So
Yeah.
you just start
Right.
thinking like, well, you're going to have to prove to me that this going to work.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
that's
if you guys, but I think it's like WWE seems very structured. It's not a. I look at AEW. It's almost like the inmates run the asylum type thing. WWE's it doesn't seem like it's like that. So he's gonna have to. You here, bro? You're here with everyone else. You're a big name, but there's a lot of big names here. So you're gonna have to get in line.
you're
Shut
not
your
Roman.
mouth. What's that?
You're not Roman.
You're not Roman. If John Cena comes back again, you're not John. You're not Brock Lesnar.
You're not
Okay.
even Cody.
You know it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to say something positive here about Punk. Is I'm hoping that maybe his experience in AEW, I'm sorry, showed that maybe the grass isn't always greener. Maybe he had a wake up call and realized, you know what, the company I worked for before, in retrospect, wasn't such a bad company. Actually, the best company maybe I've ever worked for. So I've learned my lesson. And he must know that this is his last chance for glory
feel like
in the
he
wrestling
does.
game.
I feel like he does.
So I'm just
Did you get to
hoping
see?
that maybe
Did you get to
maybe
see
he's
the
got a new
video?
perspective.
Did you get to see the video playback of him coming out?
Yeah,
Just so you notice him like pounding the ground, like
yeah,
this is it. Like there was emotion in that. Like, okay, this really is probably my last chance to do this. This is it.
yeah.
If I screw the pooch on this, it's over.
What else is Punk gonna do? Is he gonna go to Impact, which is about to be TNA? They get a few thousand viewers every week. You can go to New Japan. They wrestle a very hard style. I haven't watched New Japan in a while because it hasn't been as good, but they wrestle a very hard. They're dropping people on their heads over there. They wrestle a hard style over there in New Japan. He's not going to go there at 45 years old and get his ass kicked. You need to be right here where you can be protected and you can say all the. This is the last stand for you. You need to play nice. You need to make some apologies to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Quit being a jerk. Get your booking. Cut your good promos. You're great with a mic in your hand. That's what you need to do.
I'll say this. This is positive. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. In ring, he's probably not gonna quite be there.
No.
But he still does bring dream matches to the table. It's a different company now. There's a lot of sponsorships he can do now. There's side things he can do now that he wanted to do before. It's not like it was before. That's probably an incentive for him. And like Rob said, maybe the grass was not greener. He may have felt miserable, but he didn't really know true misery until he got to AEW.
You think you're pissed off now? Just wait.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see his very first promo back. And then maybe we go from there. Again, I'm not wishing bad on the man. I don't wish bad on anybody, to be honest with you. But I guess it just goes back to what Rob said, the care factor. It's lost on me. Like that was my first reaction. Like, really? Y'all did this? Like, y'all, WWE? Y'all sold out for this man? That was my reaction. If I'm being real, y'all sold out for Punk. Y'all had no dignity.
Yeah.
I won't say that WWE sold out because here, as far as this competition thing between WWE and AEW, I'm sure listeners know I'm a WWE guy. I don't even think it's a competition at this point.
No.
AEW is a mess, and they're trying to fix it, and they can't. You brought in Ric Flair for whatever reason. Sting is still hanging. AEW is not building stars.
No.
They built up. They've
got one,
and she's still not there.
No.
She's still
They
not
got
there.
one star, and it's MJF.
You got MJF. How have you not
be real.
Kenny Omega to be a household name? To be a household name, Kenny Omega. I watched him wrestle a guy for an hour and a half. Okay, I've seen it. I wasted an hour and a half watching it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. How is he not a household name? You have one guy you build into a star.
One. And yeah, I mean he legit is big. Like so big that he said that I will go to WWE when my contract is up. And
Suppose secretly re-sign AEW. I don't know. We'll see.
well, but I will give MJF credit, and none of those is in the AEW show, but the dude has built himself up physically to look like a champion.
Yes.
As well as to match the mic skills too. So kudos to him for that. But like you said, they got AEW around 4 or 5 years now? And you built one person.
One.
That's sad.
One.
That's pretty damn sad. But it'll be interesting to see Monday Night Raw tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna tune in because we don't know where Punk gonna go.
I'll be watching Raw for sure.
That's
because
or Randy Orton even. We don't even know where Randy Orton's gonna land.
Or he's last time we saw him, he was on Raw.
Yeah,
right.
We're going into our favorite time of the year soon. It's coming up. Rumble is the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. Love it.
If the funds are there, Blake might need to talk.
I was kicking it to the wife. She's like, "Well, I've never been to Florida." I'm like, "Oh man,
no."
Yeah.
But so here, it's not set in stone because I got a lot of stuff going on in December. It's 50-50 for me right now at the Rumble, but I would like to go.
Okay.
Very much like to go.
Yeah.
I will keep you in the loop. Rob, you too.
Well. All right. Yeah, for me, it's I don't know if I can make it to the Rumble this year. Got other stuff going, but maybe future years.
But yeah, I if I go, I might fly like that day and then fly back the next day. But
she wants to explore Florida, so it ain't gonna be
well, that's different. Y'all make a family trip. Me, I'm gonna be like shh. Because I'm being the academy. So
oddly enough, the first time Big E and I went to Mania, I took my wife. We were in Florida for a week. Mm-hmm. She went with her cousin and did her thing. Eric and I did our thing. So I was able to bring the wife, but still, me and Eric
do our thing. Met Batista, everything. That was when Batista was like,
oh man, that was insane. That was absolutely insane.
He was huge. But
big dude.
Thank you all tuning in, listening, or watching, however you get your 3GW content. Again, please let us know what y'all talk for real about Survivor Series War Games 2023. Appreciate you all sitting at 497.
Oh, come on, just
three away from 500. Literally, 3GW. Let's get these 3 so we can get to that 5. And then hey, perfect timing. Christmas time, a lot of sales going on. You tell some stuff. 5. There'll be 5 gifts given out. So let's get to that 500. We will aim to do a video this week. I start my new job, so we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, we're so thankful. We just had Thanksgiving. We are very thankful for 497 of y'all for tuning in. No matter what it is you tune in for, whether it's gaming, wrestling, or that Barton Preacher, whatever it is, we're glad you're here. And Blake, we're thankful for you and your contribution.
Man.
Doc's not here. He was supposed to be. We ain't gonna talk about that. And
dude came back. I thought he'd be here for this one.
Yeah,
he came here. That's all I ask.
He did came to Mania this year. He did come to Mania this year.
Yeah,
and obviously we are very, very, very thankful for the time that we had with our brother MJ Book. We still miss you, bro. And looking forward to what the future holds for us. 2024 gonna be the best year we have. So thank you all again. Wishing everybody out there happy holiday, and we'll speak to y'all again soon. Take care. Peace.
Well, Book would be happy to see that Miz match. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, he would have. He sure would have.
Definitely. I'm trying to make sure that
Shit. Give me a little bit of sleep before hitting the road.
You gotta go back early, Rob?
I'm going to try to get back early. We're supposed to have some snow hitting this way. We already got it in Iowa from